Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. Today we will be discussing the current track record of the 2024 race and specifically diving into Kamala Harris and her candidacy. So let's get into it. So Kamala Harris, she's going to be the nominee. Pretty much she's gotten the nomination already despite it only being like 36 hours ever since Joe Biden dropped out. Not exactly a lot of time to pick a nominee, but since she's the VP and she has access to the Biden Harris funds, they're just going to pick her. There's really no one else that can actually contest her for the nomination, and really, nobody else wants to. This is already a pretty hard to win race for the Democrats, so why throw your hat in the ring? Gretchen Whitmer, even, she declined saying that she's not going to be a VP pick. She has prospects for a presidential run in the future, so I don't think she's going to even try to run in 2024, so she's out of the VP pool. Also, Josh Shapiro, I think he might want to be a VP or potentially run. It's just the fact that he's Jewish, and since Kamala is going to want to appeal to that Arab base, she's not going to pick a Jew as a VP. This isn't even me talking. CNN has said this pretty openly that because he's Jewish, that he's not going to be able to be picked as a VP. And really, Kamala, she's going to have to find some other candidate. There's a lot of people on the list. There's people from all sorts of swing states, other people like Gavin Newsom. There's also some talk about a few other Democrats that are a lot more unknown, which Kamala, for the VP, it doesn't really matter if she picks someone who is already known or unknown because really the VP is not going to change the ticket all too much. Gretchen Whitmer and Josh Shapiro were mainly in the discussion because they're popular governors of swing states, but also she's not that good of a candidate. Kamala Harris really has no political expertise at all. She basically got into her job as an attorney by sleeping with the right people, and when she actually did run in pr- elections that were hard to win, she ran as Attorney General in California in 2010, deep Democrat state. Even in a red wave year, it was still highly Democratic. Yet she only won by about a point. And when she ran for Senate, she was basically going up against absolutely no one. She was going up against a shit candidate who was also a Democrat, so not exactly a highly contested election. And she got into the Senate. She was the most radical senator in there, and she only was able to keep her position because she was a senator from California. Then she ran in 2020. She ran a absolutely terrible campaign. I mean, everything about it, from her message, from her motto to just the way that she acted. She was essentially a media darling for about 20 years, where the media was painting her as some unsung hero. And then people actually got to know her and realized, oh, she's extremely unlikable. I don't want to vote for her. She got absolutely clobbered. She dropped out before any primary election actually happened. The only reason she's in the conversation right now is she's a diversity hire, and because she's a black woman, that's why Joe Biden picked her. Obama essentially saved her ass by saying, "Oh, she's so diverse," and then recommended it to Joe that you should pick her for VP, and he did. Kamala Harris, not exactly a great option, but she's the only option that they actually have, so they're just going to have to run her. It's still going to be fairly hard to unite the party around her. I mean, the party is united around her, kinda, but like the actual voters, not so much. It's easy to get the mainstream party around you, not so much the voters, because you have to balance your more moderate voters and your more extreme voters. And Kamala isn't likable enough to sort of unite it around her. She either needs to go with her extreme voters or her moderate voters. Either way, she's likely to lose because if she goes with her moderate voters, which she's not really doing that right now, then you're going to piss off the extreme voters and they're going to defect to one of the third party options. If you go with the extreme voters, you're going to piss off your moderate voters and they are not going to vote or go for the third parties. So you're really in a shit sandwich, and you're not charismatic enough to actually unite the base around you. Trump, on the other hand, he's doing a pretty good job at that. The thing with Trump is that he is infinitely more likable than Kamala Harris. He has infinitely more charisma than her. That's why he's able to unite the entire party around him. Not any policies, not anything like that, just around him as a person. Kamala, she can't do that. She needs to either unite them around policy or pick one of her base and just run with that. And those are both terrible options. She's trying to unite the base around abortion and democracy. Can't really do that because Trump says that abortion should be left up to the states, so you can't really say that he's going to ban abortion because he's not. And then also, you can't really unite it around democracy because you're an unelected candidate and you didn't even run in the primary. You were only picked by the party at the very last second. So you can't do that either. You can gaslight people all they want, but the voters are not as stupid as you think. The voters can understand that, hey, you're unelected. Why are you talking about how our democracy is so important? Our democracy, it's so pure, when you clearly don't give a shit about democracy because you're unelected. And also, we're not a democracy, we're a republic. I don't know why so many people say this. We are a republic, not a democracy. Stop saying that. It's kind of annoying. But Trump, he's doing pretty well. Kamala, pretty shit. So, what is the race right now? What is the race in terms of the polling, which is pretty much what we have to go off of? The polling right now shows Trump at a 1.9 advantage. Pretty much all the polls have him up outside of two, and then one tie from a Reuters poll, which that has an extremely high margin of error, so take that as you will. And Kamala, most of these polls are from when Kamala wasn't actually the nominee. And then all of the polls after she officially was announced as the nominee, they are terrible. Trump plus 3, Trump plus 6, Trump plus 2, Trump plus 2. If that maintains, then you're going to get a candidate. I mean, in my personal opinion, she's already worse than Joe Biden, but you're going to get a candidate, if this poll sticks, then you're going to get her doing infinitely worse than Joe Biden, and you're going to be stuck with her because she's going to be the actual nominee. You can't replace her after the DNC. I mean, you could try, but that's illegal. Do they really care about that? No, not really. But can't really do that because then if you were able to get rid of your nominee after you already nominated them, if there was some kind of loophole that you could go through, well, you lost access to all of your Biden Harris funds, which that is a lot of money. You cannot lose those funds. That's why they're sticking with Kamala, because as soon as you lose those funds, you lose the race, because there is no way you're going to be able to recoup all those lost funds when, what, 3 months that they would actually replace her in? So they're going to stick with Kamala. Kamala doing pretty shit in the polling, and really, she's a terrible candidate. She's not going to motivate the base properly. She's probably going to go with the more radical base because, I mean, she's doing that already. She's skipping the Netanyahu speech because she's going to claim that she already scheduled the event, really. Why was it scheduled before when you already knew that he was coming to the House to testify? And why would you do that? Because she's trying to not piss off the Arab base, and it's not about her scheduling an event in advance because that's just an excuse. It's really about, I'm not going to try and piss off the Arab base because if I do, I lose Michigan. If I stick with my Jewish base, that would be a pretty smart decision, but again, the problem is with Michigan because a lot of Arab voters there, and also a lot of Arab voters in Minnesota, and you don't want that to be anywhere remotely close. So she's going to go with her Arab voters. She's going to go with her Arabs and then assume that the Jewish base is so stupid that they just vote for you no matter what, despite being radically anti Semitic for the past 4 years. Half of the base for the Democrats is pro Palestine and actively anti Semitic, and then half of the base is pro Israel. They're sticking with their anti Semitic pro Palestine base because they want to galvanize those Arab voters. And that's a big problem because the Jewish vote is actually a pretty key part of the Democratic base. The Arab vote, not so much. So if you're going to go with your Arab vote, then you're going to piss off a lot of Jews. And they either are not going to go out to vote for you, which is going to have a pretty big effect, especially down ballot, because a lot of these key races are in swing districts that you Democrats need to hold on to or flip to have any chance of retaking the House. They've already lost the Senate at this point. The Senate is going to go Republican no matter what. And if you piss off your Jewish base, you're definitely going to have a Republican House. And you're going to see a lot of Republican gains in states like New York and also Pennsylvania and all these other places with high Jewish vote, because pissing off the Jewish vote in favor of the Arab vote, it's not going to go the way that you expect. The Jewish vote, they're not dumb. They are actually pretty smart people. And if you piss them off, they're either going to vote for your opponent or not vote for anyone. And really, when the election is this close and you're losing to Trump this badly, that is not what you want to happen. What you want to happen is that you coalesce around a mainly moderate position, pull voters from all wings of your party, and then get out the vote and win the election. But yeah, in conclusion, Kamala, very, very bad candidate. She is a absolutely terrible choice for the Democrats, but it's pretty much the only thing that they have. Trump, best of wishes to you. You're doing good right now. Keep up the pace. But you need to get out the vote. If Republicans do not get out the vote, Democrats have a pretty good shot at not only winning the House, but also winning the presidency. Getting out the vote is going to be the main problem in this election, and if Republicans fuck it up, then you might see more years of Democrat control. But anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.